Alright, this is video 7.8, scale models. This will be the end of chapter 7 for us, so we will have a test coming up soon. We've been doing lots of stuff with scales, drawings, and now we're going to do models. So a model is going to be a three-dimensional representation of a solid object. So think of going from a car to a model car, going from a plane to a model plane, a train to a model train. So drawing is going to be two-dimensional, and the model would be a three-dimensional. So when you look at a scale, we want to decide, does this scale, just by looking at the numbers, does it make it bigger, make it smaller, or keep it the same? I'm going to show you how you can figure that out, because just by looking at it, you can't really tell. So if you were looking at it and you were saying, okay, my first number has to be the model, by definition, it's model to object. Okay, the actual object. It looks like we're going from a big to a small, where our model is big and our object is small, and so we'd want to say enlarges, but you need to convert it to make sure that it's still the same. So we are going to make these both the same unit in order to be able to compare them accurately. So how many, you have 1 yard, how many feet is in 1 yard? There are 3 feet to 1 yard. So we could rewrite this as saying 3 feet, because that's what 1 yard means, to 1 foot in our model here. So if our model is 3 feet where the actual object is only 1 foot, then we can definitely say that our model is larger, so we enlarge. All right, let's try another one. We have 100 centimeters to 1 meter. So let's figure out how those are related. 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. So we could say that this is 100 centimeters to 100 centimeters. So it looks like you're going that the model is small and the actual is big, and so it would be a reduction. But what we actually find out when we do the conversion is that they are equal. So this isn't a reduction at all. It preserves the size. So this would be a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you were getting a life-size model of something. We have 1 inch and 1 yard. Let's see where that one goes. So this one's a little bit harder. We know that it takes 12 inches to make 1 foot, and that it takes 3 feet to equal 1 yard. So how many inches does it take to make a yard? It actually takes 36 inches to make 1 yard. So I'm going to say that we could say that 1 inch, in proportion to 36 inches. So this is a small, that one's small, and this one is larger. So the model is small and the object is large, so this would be a reduction. Right, so if we have the model and we have the actual, then we can find what the scale factor is pretty simply. So remember when we're doing this, that in a ratio, that our model is going to be first and then the actual object is the second. So I'm going to take my two numbers here, my scale of my dinosaur and my actual dinosaur. I'm going to say that my model is 20 inches and my actual dinosaur is 80 feet. I'm going to write it as a fraction. I'm going to write it as 20 over 80. To find the scale, I'm just going to reduce it. So 20 over 80 reduces down to 1/4. And then I'm going to change them both. So this is in inches and this is in feet. And I'm going to change them both to being in inches. So if 1 foot is equal to 12 inches, I'm going to do my little conversion factor here where I have my 12 inches on bottom and 1 foot on top. So I'm going to do 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 12 is 48. So my ratio, and see my inches cancel and my feet cancel because I'm not really worried about that. I just know that it's a ratio of 1 to 48. So our scale is going to be 1 to 48. if we know our scale, we can find unknown dimensions. We've done this in previous sections, so this should make sense. This should be kind of a reminder. So we have a model of a house that's 27 foot tall, and the scale is 1 to 3. So what is the height of the model? So if our actual house is 27 feet, and remember we do our model over our actual, all right? So we want to know the height of the model is going to be an X. Our actual is 27. We're going to make our scale over here. Our model goes on top, and our actual goes on bottom. I'm going to do my cross multiply. It's going to be 3x equals 54. So my x is equal to 18. So my scale is 18 inches tall. My model is 18 inches tall. Click on the link and do your homework, and I will see you in class.